All right, welcome TikTok fans, followers, welcome YouTube followers, welcome my followers on both YouTube and TikTok. I'm pretty sure you all have seen the last, let's just say, 48 hours of what was going on TikTok. And you pretty much know now TikTok is back up and running. I know a lot of what the confusion was. Sunday was the blackout. Americans found out that was around 8 to 9 o'clock p.m. our time Saturday. They had to start the blackout on the other time zones in other parts of the world. Same thing today. It went back up Monday their time, Sunday midday our time. With all that being said, I think we have seen the videos. Everybody is now realizing that the government has been lying for decades. Especially the new generation have now seen the lies that we've been pandered and gaslit. It's funny because I've been saying the same thing for over 10, 15 years. When Facebook was popular, I noticed that the Russians had an app just like Facebook that was on the Google Play Store called VK. What were we told? Russians were enemies. They're the enemy. They're trying to nuke us. They're trying to steal and hack our networks. Now the theory or the narrative is they're trying to influence our elections. Then by 2016, 2017, TikTok pops up along with the already set platforms, AliExpress, Alibaba. They were already on the network, but no one really got into them like that. Then you had Wish, another app from China. No one really paid attention. As soon as TikTok started exploding in popularity, guess who took notice? Trump. If everybody remembers, and there's only a couple of people on YouTube or even TikTok have brought this up, when Trump was having his tariff war with China, he also noticed China was way ahead of us in the economic market and the technology market. He started with Huawei. Huawei was one of the top 3 Asian phones. It was Sony, Samsung, and Huawei. How I know? I was a vendor with Samsung at Best Buy. Everybody was talking about the Sony phones, which was going down in popularity, but Huawei and Samsung was taking rise, which Samsung was ahead of Huawei. So since Trump couldn't get any deals with China and China was pushing back, he decided to strike at Huawei. Guess what else Huawei was also working on? They were working on a new 5G network. All this happened in 2019. TikTok started taking off around 2018. 2017 was the rise of the other platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. Snapchat was very popular between 2016 and 2017. TikTok started taking rise between 2017 and 2018. I was already on TikTok by 2017. I tried to tell my friends about TikTok. Oh, they didn't want to hear about it. Some of them said, oh, it's a Chinese app. They're going to steal your data. They're going to, hack your phone. In fact, I've been hearing that rhetoric all my life, from the Russian app to the Chinese app. I'm like, first of all, think about this for a second. If the very countries we are told are enemies, why are there American citizens here? We got Chinese people everywhere. We got Russian people scattered across the United States. We just don't know because, unfortunately, they look white. So they're not going to know. So why are we told they're enemies, but they're on our soil working like everyday people? They have towns called Chinatown. Hello, Chinatown. What enemy if they're here? They've been here since the time they came here and they were turned into slaves. They were Chinese slaves working on the Western railroads. So the other proof is once he took out Huawei and stopped Huawei for working with the American tech companies to give us better 5G, Trump decides to ban that company, stop the actual production of 5G network trade and exposure and made our companies make a form of 5G that we have today that is total shit. It's total shit. Especially where I live. I live in Maryland, right? I'm in a county that should have great service. Everywhere I go in my county, it's spotty 5G, straight 4G. Still. Again, we've been lied to. So it's interesting. Trump in 2019, once he successfully stopped Huawei, he went after TikTok. Why? Because TikTok was the most popular platform at that point. Knocked out YouTube, knocked out Facebook, swept by Instagram, and totally demolished Snapchat. Totally demolished. So the only excuse they can come up with is, oh, they're a national security risk. They're going to steal our data. Let's see. Who steals our data currently right now? Facebook, which Trump doesn't like, because Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg was at least one of the first platforms since MySpace trying to allow freedom of speech. He still kind of does. Trump don't like that. YouTube, Google, YouTube steals our data. Not only that, they control our data and they manipulate what we do and say. Guess what else we don't know about YouTube and Google if you haven't looked it up? Google is op. They're op. Google Maps was contracted to be designed for the federal government. If you ever notice, not a single president have went after Google. You know who they don't go after? Apple. Apple got government contracts. That's why Apple went along the whole 20 years getting away with bullshit. Those two companies have government contracts. That's why no one goes after them. You don't hear nothing about Google, but they do some sneaky stuff. In fact, if you look at how many people on YouTube have been restricted, have had their accounts demonetized, payments dropped, they're forcing us to, hustle, and then they tell us we can't say this, that, and the third. Think about it. Come on now. Come on. Elon Musk, he tried to take over Twitter to try to say we got freedom of speech. Yeah, but he's got all kinds of stuff going on there. It's just mayhem on there. And then he pushes his own narratives. You can't trust that platform anyway. In fact, I want everybody to do some homework. I had posted this in one of my videos. We run under a capitalist system. Other countries run under a socialist system. We are told by the American government communism is evil. But yet the socialist countries run small aspects of communism. This country demonized communism when it was trying to remove capitalism. With that being said, I want everybody who watched this video to look up what communism is and comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. You're going to find out that's another lie that we've been told. So, we've all seen the videos. We've seen a massive protest. And I'm glad we did protest. I'm glad, because I can't understand for the life of me why most Americans don't protest about what we deserve, what we are being taken advantage of. Now they decide to protest against TikTok. Great. Why not protest about the cost of living, the high insurance costs, the food costs, the taxes, and all the money that we put into the system is shipped overseas or given to the rich companies, and their companies fund sponsors to sponsor these politicians, both Republican and Democrat. Why can't we do the same thing? I don't understand it. But another thing is all the people who migrated to the Chinese app Red Note, which I should say, you should have tried Douyin. It's the same thing. I've been on Douyin since, 2018? But anyway, they have seen the lies. They finally seen the lies. Their eyes was open. They are now woke. The government has been keeping the American people in a bubble. They have been keeping the old classic people, the dusty people, I'm sorry if I offend you, the boomers, in a box. That's why they called sheep led to the slaughter. Now that we have the internet, We're not being fooled anymore. I am glad this happened. It's going to continue to happen because the more the government push a narrative, which we have someone who said, oh, the media is fake news. Guess who else is fake news? The government is full of fake news. Full of it. That is the root of conspiracies. The government is the root of conspiracies and fake news. Now you see, as bad as we was told the Chinese people are and are, now you see they opened up with open arms. In fact, it's funny, I went on Red Note, and I didn't need to because, like I said, I have Douyin already. It's the same thing. I got a couple of videos on Douyin. I posted like 2-3 years ago. I got mad views. But it's funny how they saw the reception of this, and they quickly added a Chinese to American translation feature in that app. Just that quick, in less than 24 hours. That's how much they care. Despite what we're told, they care. They understand the drama, and guess what else they know? They know American government people lie. They lie, and they have to sit on their side of the world and deal with the bullshit that we feed them. And because America sits at the head of the table in NATO, they have to deal with the bullshit. That's why this world is divided across the board. You have Russia and China and Africa building a new world order while NATO is sitting on their side of the table like the Knights of the Round Table, falling apart. This whole thing is about economic trade. That's the whole thing. That's the war we're in. Economic trade. That's the new Cold War. And it's turning into a digital trade war. And it's a shame. The other thing that's happening, if you haven't noticed, and you may want to watch the movie The Matrix again, the government is losing grip and power. You know who's rising to power? Our American tech companies. They're the ones. They know what's going on. And I guarantee you, if they know the truth behind this whole ban, they would have spoke out. But you know why they don't want to speak up and speak out? Because they saw another company from another country was doing 20 times better than them, have a much better algorithm, have a balanced algorithm that allows everybody equal rights to views, likes, and subscriptions. They saw that as a threat also. So that's why they were willing to let TikTok burn. And CEO of TikTok, I implore you to not sell. I suggest you to continue to fight. Do not sell, because if you sell TikTok, it will make you look weak. If the Chinese government was willing to fund your company and make sure you're taken care of, I would stay with them. America is no better. In fact, even worse. Look at the algorithm comparisons. I've gained more views and followers on TikTok in less than 6 months than I did on YouTube. It took a year for me to get anything nowhere near followers on YouTube than there was on TikTok. And I made multiple channels, and it's still a struggle on YouTube to get the same amount of followers that I can get on TikTok. Same thing with Instagram, same thing on Facebook. The American tech companies don't care about how they treat us with their algorithm. They want to capitalize on those who are most popular first, and the rest of us have to struggle to the top. So as I tell my American friends and my American foreign friends, welcome to America. This is the new age of pandering and gaslighting. But I guarantee you, if the government keep this up, we're going to have an uprising that is going to supersede what's going on in California. All that burning of the rich areas of California, they're saying that was done by arsonists. You think that's bad? You have no idea what's coming down the pipeline. You have no idea.